Hello and welcome to Chapter 269 of DC Alliance Podcast. With me, as always, is Joe. Joe, how you doing today?
I looked over the notes. I even told you I looked over the notes. I found a mistake in the notes, and I still forgot to do our opening thing. So this is gonna be interesting. Busy. I've been a busy boy. I was putting mulch out all day today. We have 8 cubic yards that we ordered. So because we have a crap ton of beds that we have to fill, and we do it ourselves. So we do also do it every other year. But today was nice out. So we were able to get out there, and in like 6 hours, we got the whole backyard done. We'll get the front yard done either tomorrow or Sunday. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow. But yeah, no, just been very busy. Very tired. Back
I
hurts.
feel you. I feel
But
you.
how you been?
I'm okay. I woke up this morning at 4:30 and couldn't get back to sleep. Day off as well for Good Friday. Got up at 5 and walked the dog. It was nice here, so went and got tea and just up since then. So tired as well, but didn't chasing a toddler all day, but not putting out mulch. So not as bad. He had a nap too. But yeah, I
That's
was wondering
fun.
what we were going to get for Superman Day, Joe, and we actually got something in the end that I thought was kind of cool and gave us a few really interesting shots and first looks at things. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about that. I'm not so excited to talk about the Smallville retro recap for this weekend. This week, I
Yeah,
thought it
we
was
got
terrible. We kind of joked about it before we went live, so that'll be interesting to get into. Before we do all that, let me get the network plugged out of the way. So we are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance with 6 shows in total. On Mondays, weekly, is Ranger Alliance. On Tuesdays is a walk through the multiverse. On Wednesdays is the Animation Nation. On Thursdays is Star Wars Alliance. On Fridays is Marvel Alliance. And on Saturdays is DC Alliance. Star Wars Alliance goes live on the Geekverse YouTube channel Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Marvel Alliance goes live Thursdays at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Time. And DC Alliance goes live Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All three of those shows also have their own podcast feeds. Search DC Alliance, Marvel Alliance, or Star Wars Alliance if you just want DC content, Marvel content, or Star Wars content only. But if you want all 6 shows on GUA Podcast Network, stay subscribed to GUA on your podcast app of choice. We also have a Patreon, 2 tiers, $1 tier and a $5 tier. The dollar tier is basically a tip jar like we're doing. You want to help us out any way you can. And the $5 tier is where you get your extras, you get your ad-free episodes, early access episodes, and Patreon exclusive shows. We have DC films through the years going through right now. All the DC films back from Batman 66 going on. There's 30 pieces of content up to right now. We have Joe's Multiverse Minutes, where he's doing his Disney deep dives right now. Not only is he reviewing a Disney film, he's giving you behind the scenes facts, tidbits, all that sort of thing. Those come out on the 1st and the 15th of every month. So, Joe's, what's next on the 1st of the month and what came out on the 15th a few days ago?
Yeah, I just put out Winnie the Pooh. Funny enough, I had an interview with company, a guy from a company, yesterday, and I could not remember what the episode was. You'll hear that on Tuesday. But yeah, just had Winnie the Pooh come out. Next up for me is The Rescuers from
Okay.
1977.
Oh, we're getting through the years.
We're about ready to enter what I think some call the Dark Ages, because they're part of the years that not a lot of people uh, remember or really watched or cared for. But once we get through that, we'll be into like I don't want to say classic, but like the Renaissance thing. Little
Okay.
Mermaid,
Yeah.
Aladdin, like
Yeah.
the
Lion
ones that
King. Yeah.
really like our generation.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. We thank everyone that's a patron. If you're not a patron, if you take a quick 30, 60 seconds, rate and review the podcast on your podcast app of choice, it's always greatly appreciated. It helps other people find the show, and that's always a good thing.
We also have
Oh,
Marvel Alliance. Did you say Marvel Alliance?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, my brain's gone. Anyway.
It's dead. The intro's burned into my brain for now, so I hope we don't change anything. The weekly, managed to remember the weekly on Animation Nation this past week, where we're covering Justice League Unlimited. Please check that out. Joe, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Superman Day. Before we get into the behind the scenes thing that was shared,
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you some of your favorite Superman moments, considering this is Superman Day.
Yeah, Superman
In
Day.
comics, TV, movie, animation, gaming, whatever tickles your fancy.
Yeah, so one of the things that really one of my I don't want to say favorite, but one of the things that like really was kind of fun. I'm actually wearing the shirt right now. I gone to the Metropolis for a Superman convention. It was the Superman celebration in 2012 is when I went. So
Okay.
it's been 13 years, but like that was a blast going to actually Metropolis in Illinois. I think it was like a 7-hour drive from where I lived at the time, and it was it was a lot of fun. Seeing just all these people come in there celebrating. Got to see the Superman statue. There was a museum that housed a bunch of other statues, like tinier statues, props from the movies, uh, a bunch of other stuff. I There were celebrities there at the time, but I
Okay.
didn't see them. So don't ask me who was there, because
Yeah.
one, that was 13 years ago, and I can barely remember things I did 5 days ago. Um, but that one was really impressive. I really enjoyed that. I would love to go back again sometime, but I know scheduling wise, my brother has been like begging me to go back with him one of these times. Which I mean, if I ever can. The problem is every time the last like handful of years that it's been going uh, is usually when I have my family trip to Disney. So it's like
Oh
I can't do both.
no,
Um,
not yet. Anyway, until you can clone yourself.
well, then I won't have fun. Um, so that's one thing. Do we want to go back and forth, or you just want me to kind of keep
No,
naming?
yeah, well, we can go back and forth a little
Oh,
bit.
go ahead.
So I'll go off the beaten path a little bit here. In one of my favorite Super Nintendo games was the Death and Return of Superman.
Oh, not Superman
And
64 where you barely
no,
did it.
we burned that. That's never. Bleh. Uh, but yeah, I enjoyed it, Joe. I thought it was pretty good at the time. It was a good beat 'em up, and I revisited it when I was a bit older as I went back and bought some of the games that I had growing up or played.
What's up,
Eh,
Iggy?
Hey, Iggy, we're
Hey,
basically
Iggy, well, sorry to interrupt you.
you
We're talking our favorite Superman moments since Superman Day. Why don't you go ahead and give us some of yours in the chat, and we'll read them out.
and also the DCAU Superman, all the way from Superman the animated series with Tim Daly. The crossover episode with Flash was superb. It was one of the first ones I watched. Uh, all the way up to Justice League and Justice League Unlimited
Yeah,
when he fights Darkseid.
Dark Side at the end of it.
At
That is,
both times when he fights him in the first Justice League and leaves, Batman bails him out, and they have to take a boom tube out, and he's pissed
mhm.
off, and Darkseid gets exploded. And then the final one where he's like, "I hold back all the time." That big speech, like, just
With
love
you, I don't
Superman.
have to. Yep.
Yeah, just
I love that
loved
scene.
it, loved it.
Love that scene. Um, Another one of my favorites is in comic form. Obviously, the you said Death or Return of Superman. Comic book form, also one of my favorites. That along with Batman Nightfall, and if I'll being honest, the Spider-Man Clone Saga were some of the comics that got me into comic books. My older brother had them all, and I would secretly read them. I gotta use the air quotes because I guarantee he knew I was reading them. Um, but yeah, because he had the single issues, and because he was getting them when they came out, and then yeah, that was what got me into comic books, and inevitably made me come where I'm at today. Um,
I argue that, Joe, that comic book is, you can make a case it is the most, like, recognizable comic book in pop culture. For like, that was big when he died in
oh
the
yeah, it was
it
one
was
of the
either between
first.
that and Robin dying where people had to call in. One of those, like, those are the big moments that I
Yes,
can
but
remember.
Death of Superman was one of the first ones that kind of made it like national news. I
CNN had a thing about it. I watched that
Yep,
a long time ago about, like,
a lot of
people
stations
were
did it, and
complaining and
mhm.
yeah,
And it's happened a couple times since.
yeah, but this was the first time.
This was one of the first. I don't know if
Yeah.
it was the first,
Well,
but it
it
was one of
felt
the
like the first, yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Um, and it was also, they sold the issue 75, Superman 75, where he died. Sold so many copies of that. I've got like 2 or 3 copies myself. I got one in the poly bag. I've got a couple because there was like so many different covers, variants, not variants, prints. There we go,
Yeah,
like first, second,
Prince.
third, fourth
Yeah.
prints. I've got a few of those over here. I've got the trades. I've got a couple different versions of the trades. Like those, the Death and Return of Superman, that series was very influential for comics at the time. You know?
100%, Joe. Like I said, it made a big imprint on pop culture at that
Yeah.
time too. And Iggy said, "I never played Superman the video game for the Xbox 360, and don't forget the Fleischer Superman cartoon shorts."
Yep.
Yes, yeah.
Those are great.
And I had never played the game Superman the video game either. I think Superman Returns is it? Is that what it is? Like
Never
based
had
on the
360,
movie.
so
So yeah, I've
I'm
never
sure it was
played
on
it.
PlayStation. I had PlayStation at that time either.
So, and in film, I love the Smallville battle in Man of Steel. Uh, and obviously Superman being interviewed by Lois Lane in the first Superman film, I thought was fantastic as well.
Yeah. Yeah, just another one of my favorite moments. You know, you just talked about Man of Steel. Seeing Superman with Batman and Wonder Woman in BVS for the first
Yeah,
time.
that was pretty cool.
Like just and I know we saw it in the trailer, but seeing it on the big screen was just magical, you know? Because
Seeing
we haven't
Wesley
had
just
we at
fought
that point
too.
in time we hadn't had the trilogy or the Trinity in live action, you know?
Agreed.
Like together. Like we've had them all. We've had Superman in the
Yeah,
movies. We had Batman and Wonder Woman on TV, like 66 and 77. We also had Batman 89 and Superman 70, 78. Like we've had multiple iterations, but not anything together.
no,
And to
and
see them together live action was awesome.
that's why I hope that this DCU builds to the Justice League
Mm-hmm.
very well, and I get that same sort of feeling, Joe, that when you get the whole group, I hope we have the whole seven like across, and uh, again, I love Man of Steel. There's so much good in that movie that
Man,
I
still so
enjoy.
great. I
Uh,
am looking forward.
it
I
holds
mean,
up
we
so
both
well
are.
too. Yeah.
We're both looking forward to
So
Superman, but
we
like,
can't talk
man,
about we can't wait to talk about the little behind the scenes thing here, but there's some really cool clips, especially of other characters like Metamorpho for one. I can't wait to
yeah,
talk about that for a second. But yeah, and I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the uh, basically is what inspired the Superman versus the Elite animated movie, which was superb, by the way. And it's Superman, What's So Funny But Truth, Justice, in the American Way.
I mean,
Is that
there's a
comic?
Superman and the Elite comic.
Yeah.
So
Well, that basically led into that storyline.
yeah,
So, uh,
that's
yeah,
what I have over there.
and yeah, I love that. That was a great animated film as well. And they did some really good Superman animated films. The Death and Return of Superman, they did it really well the second time. Uh,
Yeah,
and they
not so much
incorporate
first time,
not so much first time, not enough time to do that in 70 minutes.
but they were still like it was the first movie. You know, like they were
Yeah.
still kind of feeling out what they could do, and now they perfected it.
So yeah, again, love Superman. Excited to see the movie, and we'll take our first ad break, and then we'll talk about the behind the scenes clip that was shared today instead of a trailer, and maybe we'll discuss was it wise to do that? Should we have shared a trailer or not? Listeners, we're an ad support network. We will pick the ad or volume. We're going to do a quick 3 count to adjust your volume. You will be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay, Joe. Let me share. Let me present here.
Yes,
Uh,
and I will pull it up when you do,
there we go.
and we're on screen.
And closed captions mute
I'm
is
down. All right,
and again the cape flapping,
billowing.
and we open with Gunn talking about seeing Superman for the first time. And again, I enjoy this here and the shots. This is nice. This is like I said, they were on location filming when we see this Superman hitting the ground in the opening of the trailer we saw.
Yeah,
And I'm liking this suit more when you see it moving in real time.
right. Yeah, see
And
the cape flowing like it does.
and like I said, actually practical sets, which I love. And just talking about here, James Gunn realizing how to do Superman. And this is Lois Lane being here. And I think that's Frank Grillo, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like him anyway. Could be wrong. Could just be a stuntman. There's Lex Luthor talking about how great the film is. This is him getting charged up by solar energy. I
Yep.
thought this was cool, Joe. The
The
robot
fact that
interactive.
the Helixes are
Interactive.
well interactive, but actually real, like there. Yeah,
Okay, this is where we're going to take a second to, because we're going to pause a couple of these characters.
Clark towering over everybody. Hawk Girl.
I think she looks great here.
She looks awesome.
The criticisms of the helmet in the first, sorry, I think she looks great here. And then we get one of my favorite shots of the whole thing, which is this is perfect.
It looks good.
It's
Yeah.
perfect.
I was curious if they were going to do, body capture, mocap or not. But no, like they're
doing practical, which is
practical.
their combination of practical and CG. Like his
Well,
powers
sure,
CG,
yeah. But like when he's, because you know how the MCU does now, the costumes are all mocap.
Yes,
You know?
yes. And I'm glad
I
they're
was
doing it
curious
this
if
way.
they were going to do mocap with him because of how like elemental he is, you know.
But they just
for
nailed it.
suits, yeah, that's
Nailed it.
awesome.
And again, this gets me super excited, because if you're putting that kind of detail into a practical suit, you want to try to make it look as like seamless as possible. You're not worried. You're more concerned about how it looks in the VFX, like just putting more VFX. So yeah, I love it. I think this looks amazing, and you can use this in combination with VFX and make it look superb.
Well, yeah, of course.
So yeah, Metamorpho. Then we got Lois Lane here.
Lois at Daily Planet,
and they talked, some Daily Planet fun. This is an actual shot. Might be in the film, might not be.
I don't think a shot of James Gunn's gonna be in the film, but yeah.
No, and
I know what you meant.
No, I want to show this guy. So is this the Ultraman, Ultra?
Yeah, it smashing through the walls. Yeah, that's Ultraman. And Hawk Girl. I think that was Hawk Girl, the Hawk Woman.
And then you get some nice banter between Corn Sweat and Holt. Lex Luthor's army, I think, possessed the engineer alongside him.
Yeah, and those definitely look very Lex.
Wait, we got pause because there's a guy here, right here.
That's Ultraman. See the U?
Yeah. And there was something here. Hold on.
Yeah, what's all that?
Somebody was saying there's something here that thinks this is a white Martian.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the same thought I had.
If that's true.
Because we do remember, too, that there is it seems like there's multiple glass cages in the one that Superman breaks out of. Yes. He might not be the only thing that's captured.
Well, we did see other people captured with them, so what's to say that there's not other aliens captured? Yeah.
So, yeah, this is pretty cool. And, yeah, just people talking about James Gunn here for a bit, and then we see some more shots. I love Lois and Clark here.
Solus behind him, yeah.
They're basically just talking about Superman as a good character who's filled with hope, and he just does the right thing because it's the right thing to do.
That suit looks good.
And I do love how they're showing Superman save people as just Lois is like, yeah, we could use a bit more of that in the world. Here we go.
So is that Lex's suit?
That's what people are saying. That's a possibility. That's what people are saying.
I can't really tell the colors. It looks green-ish.
I saw another thing. Oh, and I can't get into it now. I'll get into it after. I saw another thing about potential character for that too. So we'll talk about that after.
Okay.
Just again, a cool shot here, and then we get Mr. Terrific talking about how great. Again, they're starting something right now, and as they're doing this, just the background is Superman, which I love, and you have everybody in the film looking up. I would have liked a flyby of Superman at one point if they're all staring up, Joe. But
I'm sure they will in the movie. But
I know. I just made it look cool here, but you can't complain that much. There's so many little things here, nuggets. One thing I didn't want to miss: he's in the Fortress of Solitude, correct?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Lex is always in the Fortress of Solitude. That's all he ever does anymore.
Yeah, it's like I got my own key.
Yeah, basically.
But
I need to get a shirt. I need to get a Superman shirt before movie comes out.
I just thought that was awesome, Joe. That got me hyped for this film. I can't wait to see it. And yeah, there's some cool shots here that I think I have them here uh, just to talk about a couple of them with you.
Okay.
Hold on, before we get into the rest of the stuff here. Uh, uh, where we do? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I know what we did.
That guy that we saw at the end, like potential uh, suit
Yeah.
for Lex. There is people saying that's Ulysses.
No, they're not gonna put Ulysses in this thing.
That's what I'm like. And then
He's
someone said
he's too
Cesaro,
he's too new. You're too new of a character.
and I'm like, it gotta be Lex in the armor, right? I don't see. There's also people saying it could be that we saw that little thing in the paper that was shared from the set, like Hammer of Barovia creates havoc downtown. Superpowered mystery man damages Metropolis. Hold on, I'll share that with you right here
Okay.
in our chat. And yeah, that's what people are saying. It could be him too. Which again, if you look at the thing, it might be, especially if he gets it upgraded.
Oh. Maybe.
Yeah,
See,
that's what I mean.
I believe this more than I would believe
Ulysses,
Ulysses.
100%, 100%. I just that was one of the things that were under there. I was like, that's a bold claim to just throw that out there. Like that's
Yeah, because
it's
Ulysses,
a bit much with every other character you got in there. And
like the character came at the middle end of New 52,
and
so
this is
not
more,
even like 10 years old.
yeah.
Which
Like this is
I mean, I shouldn't say much. Bane was in Batman and Robin 5 years after he was created, so
that's true.
it couldn't be. It could be possible. It could be Ulysses. The problem is, while Bane had a stronger background and was a huger character that actually did something, Ulysses, I haven't seen hide or hair of him since he disappeared at the end of New 52. Not to say that he isn't in the comics. I haven't been reading the comics, so I don't know, but I do still keep in the circles enough with the news that I would have heard. You would think that they would say something.
I don't know if that's Lex. I just don't know if they reveal Lex's suit like that. I think that's something he might to keep close to the vest.
Yeah, but it was in a dark, like it was all dark though, like you couldn't really see anything. So I'm not going to throw out the possibility of Lex. However, I am leaning more towards this Hammer of whatever character.
Yeah. The one that we got the little Smallville, not Smallville, the Daily Planet.
Paper, yeah.
Yeah, paper. So yeah, again, cool thing, getting people hyped. I love it. So we're gonna jump into some Superman news that came from Superman Day. Because I could geek out on that Metamorpho shot forever. We got a new look at McFarlane Toys Superman figure with Crypto, which McFarlane Toys is, I think, after this year is over, its deal is done with DC. They have a new deal now with Mattel. So,
okay.
Yeah, Crypto there with Superman. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cute. I'm not so. I mean, don't get me wrong. McFarlane Toys is great, and there definitely is a market for it. I don't know. I'm not big on the toys action figures like I used to be.
Same. Well, we're on a Scott, so Scott.
Sure. Yes. And again, I'm not trying to.
I think they look really good.
They look great.
Yeah.
But one, I don't have room, obviously. Don't get me wrong. I have some. I still have my Superman action figures from the 90s. I think they're Kenner. Could be wrong. But it's like I got Superboy and Steel and like a Superman, which I don't. He's got something on. I don't know. Like I still got all those. They're packed up in a box somewhere. I gotta get them out and put them somewhere around here.
And with that is Lex Luthor as well, who again, all these McFarlane toys are going to look great because
McFarlane does a great job. He does a really good job in the toy line.
Also, I'm gonna give them some props here because they released some of the Superman Funkos and it never gave away anything in the film, which again
What?
is a
How
rare
could
occurrence these
how could
days.
you do that and not
Usually,
let me know what's going on in the film?
usually Funkos give away something like who's the villain if they're trying to keep a
Right?
secret and stuff. So,
But
yeah, all
like
they
that's
have
the thing
here
though. We've
is
got Ultraman, we got Lex, we got Solaris. Like
we don't have any of those. We just
we
got
don't have
Lex.
Brainiac though.
We just got Lex,
Well, I'm just
Lois,
talking about
Superman,
like
and Crypto.
what they've shown in the trailers.
Yeah,
You know, we kind
but
of
I mean,
maybe already know who the villain is.
oh yeah, I'm just saying like they only gave out 4 Funkos. So again, they're not gonna give away any characters here. Crypto looks awesome. Uh,
So I don't do a lot of Funkos. I think I've got the Bioshock Infinite and the Infinite Funkos. See a Crypto though, like I kind of maybe want to get Crypto. You got a handful, yeah. I see.
some up there and over there.
Yeah, I don't have. I got a couple when I was doing Loot Crate back in the day, and then I specifically got the the Songbird, Elizabeth, and the 2 Bookers from Bioshock Infinite. Other than that, like I don't. I've got enough of a crippling debt with comics. I don't need Funko Pops either.
But again, I love that this stuff's picking up. Like we're a couple months out from the film now.
Yeah, we're gonna start
Again,
seeing a bunch more things, which I
yes,
love.
same. Uh, we got some more merchandise here, Joe. I thought this was super cool. The Fortress of Solitude
Yeah,
lamp.
yeah, it looks fun.
Again, I think it looks amazing. I don't know
Now,
if I'd be able to, I know it looks like it's expensive too.
oh yeah, sure. This next one though looks fun.
Yes, which is a crypto lamp. Uh,
Yeah,
which again, you can press on its head and turn it on. So it's
right. Yeah,
yeah,
it looks fun. Looks like it'd be a good one.
some really good things here. Uh, and again, all this stuff is great. There's a Daily Planet mug and S symbol travel cup. I really like the travel cup there, the Superman S symbol.
Yeah,
Uh,
looks
and
very Oh, what's those cups?
I also wouldn't hate a morning tea out of the Daily Planet cup.
There you go.
I have to get some of this stuff. And the final thing here is a S symbol uh, wall light and Daily Planet theme box releasing as part of Superman merch. If the S light comes in as Daily Planet Superman box. So
Yeah,
again,
that's really cool. If I'm being honest.
they're getting some of this stuff out now, which again
Oh,
I'm
and
a really big fan of.
playing card looks like. Was that
So
just a bot?
I think that might be.
Oh, whatever.
Anyway, yeah, still pretty cool here. Uh, with all this stuff merch starting to come out now. Uh, I only expect more. There's also a McFarlane toy of Metamorpho, uh, which gives us a good look of what he'll look like.
Okay.
So yeah, this comes to the question now, Joe, that let me see, that we'll get into after we take our potentially final ad break of the evening. Listeners, we're on Ad Support Network. We will pick the ad that the volume. Going to do a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay, Joe. So Superman Day is over now in terms of news. Do you think there was enough? Do you think they should have had a trailer with it? The film is 2 months, 2.5 months away,
Um,
and we still have no plot trailer of like what the main story is.
I do feel like it is kind of a missed opportunity for putting it out, not for not putting it out on Superman Day to help get the hype. But you can put it out next month sometime. Definitely not beginning of the month because that's when Star Wars stuff is. But like sometime in the middle of the month, so it's like at least 2 months out, and then that can help build the hype. You already said stuff is like merchandise is slowly starting to roll out, so you'll have that for the next 2.5, 3 months. No, like I definitely think they probably should have did something. I mean, But then again, we got the behind the scenes stuff, and we did see a couple cool things there that I think is maybe will help set up when they do release the trailer. Like maybe the next trailer will have more of Metamorpho and more of Hawkgirl. Maybe. I mean, again, a Superman movie, so I don't
Guns
expect them to be in
overseeing
the movie
all
a lot.
this that gets
Yes,
released. So
and
good.
that's the big thing
Yeah.
because more often, like for BVS, they licensed that out to a different company, and that company gave away the plot in that first trailer with Doomsday. It's like, what are you doing?
Second trailer.
Whatever.
Yeah, there was the
But
first trailer. It was like hype, and then
But yeah,
second trailer.
it's
Now we know what's
Batman
happening.
versus Superman. You don't need to be putting Doomsday in it because it's you. You already told me that they're going to team up to go against Doomsday. Batman versus Superman. Focus on that.
Yes, and you can even focus on Lex, but so you didn't need focus at all. Show Tuesday. I'm in 100% agreement with you there. So yeah, I'm gonna be surprising you here. I don't know if they planned it, but I think it really worked out for them that they didn't release a trailer. Because I think the Fantastic Four trailer from yesterday
Yes, was probably
came out of
still.
nowhere,
Mhm.
and people are still talking about it today.
Yeah,
Like it
and
was
also you have to remember that this is also the same weekend that Celebration is going on over in Japan.
yeah,
Star Wars Celebration. So like I woke up to so many texts about some of the stuff, some of the news out of Star Wars Celebration. So it probably was a good idea not to release a trailer today. It would have been just it would have came and went.
yes, and again, same thing with Super Bowl. I thought it was a smart idea to not release a trailer. I disagreed with it at the time, but I just thought it was because of money. But again, it worked out well because it didn't get lost in the shuffle. It had its own time. I think they should release something 2 months from when the movie's out, so something
So
in the
we would
second week
be
of May. In the second week of May,
yeah.
yeah, that's when I would release another trailer. I'm
What was
fine
that?
with it
About
the way it
4 weeks, three
worked
weeks?
out here.
Yeah,
Here
so
now.
about 3 weeks. We'll check back in 3 weeks, see what we have.
And again, the behind the scenes gave us some fantastic things like Easter eggs, things to look at, and things to send us down some rabbit holes.
Yeah.
So like even that like the shot that me and you speculated who it is. Could be Lex, could be you'll have people really zooming in to see if you can see the green lights from Lex
They'll be
armor.
going frame by frame, like analyzing this every single step that thing takes.
So again, I think that was the right move. I hope this is super successful. That's basically I hope it's a good movie first and foremost. Sorry,
Fingers crossed, but
I do think it's going to be a really good movie, so
I
I'm
think
not
it'll
really
be
worried about
it'll be a
that.
fun movie.
Yeah.
But now that China may not be getting some of these movies, it's going to be very dependent on American audiences going
And
to
this
see it.
is when we get back to the scheduling and what you're doing, having it a week after Jurassic World and 2 weeks before Fantastic Four. So I just hope this works out for this film. I hope
Yeah.
this film is the
I
best of
mean,
the
yeah,
three easily, and people just flock to it.
maybe in 2 months things will change
Yeah,
and they'll be actually in China, but we'll see.
fingers crossed on that too, Joe. So yeah, there's something we forgot to talk about last week, which was Val Kilmer, Batman. In
Oh yeah, how's he
Batman
doing?
Forever. He passed away, Joe.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he hasn't been that healthy, so
No, he wasn't. Yeah, that was definitely a loss. But no, he was. That one was one of those where he was a great Batman, but not a like he was an okay Bruce Wayne, right? Or did I have
yeah,
it backwards?
his Batman was good too, but like his Bruce Wayne would have been better if you saw more of what they filmed some other stuff that really goes to back up his Bruce Wayne story.
Again, I would love to see the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever.
Same. I hope it gets released one of these days.
Well, the problem is, both Schumacher has passed and now Val Kilmer has passed. Like, this is a prime opportunity to put it out, and all the proceeds go to their families or something.
Yes.
Because fanboys like us, we're gonna be buying that. We're gonna be
We
watching
want to
it.
see it, and we want to see how different it was.
Yeah.
So, and again, he wasn't just Batman too. He was Iceman.
Yep, Top Gun.
Top Gun,
Doc
he was
Hollywood from
in Zach Holiday from Tombstone.
Thank you, Doc Holliday. Like he
Uh,
had a great. I mean, what's his name? He was in Willow. Like he's been
yeah,
in
he was in
so
Heat,
many great movies. The Saints. What was a couple of the other ones?
and he was even in Broadway too. So
Okay,
uh, he went through throat cancer, unfortunately.
yeah,
Uh, and yeah, he passed away on April 1st of pneumonia. Uh, so yeah, I really enjoyed Forever. I thought it was a really good Batman film at the time. Obviously, it doesn't stack up with some of the other things we got, but again, that's a little out of his control. When reason Tim Burton left was because they were trying to make it geared to kids and
yep,
Happy Meals and toys and stuff
yep.
like that. So,
All about capitalism, baby.
but again, he's definitely not the worst Batman. That's the main thing, and yeah, uh, I enjoy a lot of his films, so I
Yeah.
will be seeing him again. Uh, and I'm glad he came back for Top Gun Maverick too. Looking
Oh,
back
did he?
at it, yeah.
Okay. And
You watched this one?
I was never really a Top Gun fan. Like I watched it when I was a kid, but I never really got the appeal. And so I've never actually seen Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, okay. Like I
So
would like I don't think I've watched Top Gun twice. Like I've not like I'm not putting on the aviators and dressing up as Chummy for Christmas for
sure.
Halloween or anything, but
One of my friends became a pilot because of Top Gun.
a lot of people
And
did apparently.
I think he was also in the Air Force because of Top Gun. And I'm like, that's cool. I'm good. Not for me,
So
I guess.
yeah, I just uh thanks for the memories
Yeah,
of him,
yes.
especially thank you for being Batman. Uh you carried the mantle well.
He did. He really did.
So, Joe, we have our Smallville retro recap to get into, unfortunately, this evening.
Yeah.
We laughed before because this is rated 8.6 out of 10 on
Don't
IMDb, and
understand.
just don't understand why or how.
Which
But
again,
yeah,
so it's the episode is it's Valentine's Day. Jimmy and Chloe kind of try and set up really more on Jimmy's end.
yeah.
Lois and Clark.
When
Um,
Chloe finds out, she's like, "What?"
yeah.
So,
And there is a love guru there that gives Lois this lipstick. And notice I said gives because Lois never paid for anything. Jimmy, when he comes later to try and get an antidote, never paid for anything or
no,
whatever. Again, TV magic. But yeah, gives Lois this kryptonite or this lipstick that has red kryptonite in it, and it turns her into a like she just fell in love with Clark, and then once she kissed Clark, the red kryptonite that was infused in the lipstick goes into him, and he becomes, the red kryptonite Superman, and it goes downhill from there.
it's just not good, Joe. It's just, again, we talked about this before we went live, but we'll talk about it now. Going back to the red kryptonite well, especially one when Lois doesn't know anything about it, because the first couple times it was fun with the ring. The first time no one knew, then the second time puts it on to leave, and then we even said the third time where Pete and Chloe get possessed by whatever's in the caves or these kind of caves, and Pete goes and does it because he knows what the ring does.
Yep.
That makes sense and that works. But we're getting
Yeah.
to the point now where you can't go 6 seasons in with these characters and have Clark go and make these outrageous things like red kryptonite, and then everybody eventually gets past it within an episode.
Well,
Like
and then
it's
even
never
that,
talked about the next episode.
so the two people, because I mean, the other B plot is Lana and Lex having an engagement party and having all that. Two people that are there are Martha Kent and Chloe, which is also funny because I didn't see Lionel there. I don't think he was in this episode at all, but I'm pretty sure Martha RSVP'd with Lionel. Whatever, that's a semantics thing. But like, there's two people there who should be able to recognize when Clark is on the red kryptonite, right?
Yep.
How long did it take him to figure it out?
Too long, Joe. Too long.
So Yeah, it is
Like,
what it is, you know.
especially like you're supposed to be this watchtower. I'm not going to get into. Going to move past that. Uh, I do love how Lex essentially like Clark reveals the secret that like Lana's pregnant.
Yeah, which I mean, they had talked about. Lana had specifically talked about, and I would definitely agree with her on this one. It's an engagement party to help prove, hey, I actually do want to be with you. I do love you. If people know that I'm pregnant, they'll just think I'm with you because I'm having a kid. So, like, I agree with her on that part. Now, obviously, she is very nervous. What's going on? If I remember correctly, either I think she loses the kid, right? Or was
I
she
don't
not
think
even
there was
pregnant? Or
ever a
was
kid.
it
I
a
think it was
false
false thing.
pregnancy? Okay.
Yeah, because the lady says like that her pregnancy isn't typical, but is progressing as scheduled
Okay.
to him. So
So yeah, it's one of those things where yeah, like obviously, especially early on, you don't want to. I've known many of parents who did not want to say they are pregnant because they either did and then either something happened, miscarriage happened, or it was a false pregnancy,
yeah,
but they've already got people excited that they're going to have a child. So on that aspect, I can understand Lana not wanting to do it. So that
we did that.
did you?
Yeah, we for first time we
Yeah,
had
and it's
miscarriage, and then second time we didn't tell anybody the whole. Well, no, we told our family that after the first ultrasound, and
yeah,
then we
and
didn't
it's
tell
not something
anybody.
like
There was no posts on Facebook, and then
yeah, and it's not something like you're trying to be ashamed of. It's just like, oh hey, we're pregnant, we're excited, we want to share this with you, and then when something happens, you're like, well,
yeah, I don't
crap.
need the 800 messages being like or like
Yeah,
checking
sorry,
in.
sorry about
So
that. Yeah, yeah. So
so
when it actually is viable, you're like, well, do we? Let's wait a little longer.
she posted a picture of Oliver, like, when he was born, like, Oliver's little thing there, what his name and all that, Oliver
Aw.
John Hines, and people were commenting, "You were pregnant? I didn't even know." And
So
she was
yeah,
like, "We kept it off social media." So, yeah, I 100% see it there too,
yeah.
though.
So
So, yeah, it's just one of those things, and it makes sense. But, yeah, the end here, she had that little chisel that's bent. She got that, so she's on her way to proving that she knows that there's something up with Clark.
yeah.
So, yeah, this was just okay.
I mean, it to me, it's just a whatever episode.
I
I
can't
just
believe it
it's
got rated so high.
right. Did
So
you listen or watch Talkville? Did
I
they?
got a part of the way through, and they were discussing with they basically had our feelings of how does
Yeah,
so many
how is it
people
so
like this,
good? Like it's
how does so
not.
many people say like this is such a great episode.
I wonder if they're saying that because Lois and Clark are together,
They were
air
saying I didn't
quotes.
know they said something in the red K, like the red kryptonite again.
It's,
Like they're like
it's
again with the
so
red
dumb.
kryptonite. So yeah,
I'm not gonna
again,
again. Like I agree with you. Like you had said, the first couple of times it played out really well, but now you're 6 seasons in. You know, it after the third time you kind of gotta stop. Like you can't keep going back to it. Bring in other kryptonites if
and
you have
yeah,
to. But
we have some like there's a couple good episodes that we get towards the end here. Uh, so yeah, uh, oh yeah, okay, yeah, we see somebody
you're
here.
looking through them all like,
Yeah,
oh
look
yeah,
through
this one and this one.
that. Those two aren't too bad. I can't trust the ratings anymore, Joe. This was 8.6. So
Yeah.
yeah, I hope everybody has a great Easter weekend. Uh, and yeah, I will see you back next week with more DC goodness. Hopefully, a lot more news.
We'll see. Thanks,
Until
y'all.
then, see you, everyone.
Bye.